Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Boxing Rush Hour Show live edition. I'm one of your hosts, Abraham Gonzalez, and I have professional fighter Zachary Ochoa. Zach, what's going on with you, man? I heard rumors that there were some Zachary Ochoa sightings in Dubai, and then in London, and then in Colombia, and then like all these places. It was like on some Carmen Sandiego. So like, where in the world is Zachary Ochoa? This is what I hear, but maybe not. What's good with you? Celebrated a birthday recently.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Happy birthday to myself, man. You know, I'm all over the place. It's either I'm nowhere or I'm all over the place. I don't know. I got a little black eye, you feel me? Because, I'm out here putting in work. I spar with a bunch of, young up and coming guys and tough dudes and stuff. You feel me? So I'm always putting in work.
Interesting. Interesting.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm gonna just mention one thing. The reason why a lot of guys punch a little bit harder that don't live in the US, their punching bags are a lot harder. Super hard. I'm talking about like they don't give any.
Really? That's interesting. Yep. I wonder what they put in them.
I don't know. Probably rocks and shit.
Yeah, listen, thank you everybody for tuning in. I know it's a Monday, but we've had like a bunch of different things going on this Monday, and I think we're just a good place to start right now is just to kind of recap this weekend's fights, right? We had Rafael Espinoza, WBO featherweight champ. He beat Arnold Kagagi, and he stopped him. He busted him up. It wasn't he got touched up a little bit, but I think that at the end of the day, he wasn't about winning the small battles. He was worried about winning the war. And when you make those deposits early, them body shots, them uppercuts, when it comes later in the fight, they start showing up, and they start showing up big. I don't know if you got to catch the fight in time, but it was a good outing. Just want to see Espinoza now maybe get into some unification fights. What you think, Zach?
I'm not sure. I didn't really get to catch it. I'm not going front. But I do see my boy Shushu, calling him out.
And Shushu's been calling him out. He's been talking about cutting that tree down. He said that quite a few times. I just don't know if he gets the shot. I think that what ends up happening next for Espinoza is that he fights Angelo Leo if Angelo Leo wins his defense, and they make that fight.
Wow.
Which is a really good fight. I think that happens. If somehow Shushu can get that Ray Vargas fight, then I would say maybe go that route. But he could be patient. Stephen Fulton Jr. right now is fighting at 130 in December. Who knows if he vacates? If he loses, he may not vacate. If he wins, he will, I would say. And then Shushu being the interim champ, maybe he gets elevated.
And they can fight each other,
and then figure it out from there. So I don't know. It was a good win. Richard Torres got a win there. It was an awkward win. He busted this guy's nose, and they just stopped it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Emiliano Vargas went the full 10 rounds with the guy that went. I think he beat up Tiger Johnson not too long ago. So. Or he lost, but he gave Tiger Johnson all that he could handle, and Emiliano, he got his rounds in. He hadn't been to 10 rounds, hadn't gone the distance like that. So it was a good little fight for him. Good learning lessons, I think. I think it was the perfect fight for him at this point of his career to kind of elevate him again. You know what I mean? To the next level.
Yeah, I like Emiliano. I like him a lot. I feel like they're pushing him very well. They're pushing him good. He's the type he's trying to get out of the shadow of his dad. I know this. Obviously, he uses that to get to that platform, which you have to and you must if you're there. And he can fight, man. He can fight his ass off. It's just I want to see how he's going to react when he gets hit back. You understand? We haven't really seen him get hit. Only a couple times light shots, but like I want to see where his heart is at. I want to see where his hunger is at, and can he last 10 or 12 rounds boxing a disciplined fight?
Yeah, and he did that. Like he definitely got touched up on Saturday. Clean shots too. Probably some more than what he would have wanted or his father would have wanted, right? And so I think it was a great learning lesson for him for sure. For sure. Now, over at Tottenham, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Ben 2. One of the things that stood out right before the fight or on Friday, was the weigh-in situation. Again, Eubank looking like he was going through hell to try to make that weight. He didn't want to get fined this time, but he made it. He made it, no fines. I didn't not like that his father was trying to make it about himself at the weigh-in, like doing the dancing and just try to face Nigel Benn. And what I also didn't like was that Nigel Benn extended his hand to be like, yo, it was cool, whatever. What we didn't see that Nigel Benn said after the fight was that Senior, like with the left hand, kind of like almost put it like near his chin, like in a punch.
Really?
Yeah. And he said he didn't really like that. He thought that was whack of him. I agree with that. And he said that he doesn't really care to ever talk to him again. So that still continues. But again, Eubank Senior making it about himself. And Nigel Benn said that he was making it about himself instead of making it about his son. You know what I mean? And so I don't know, but getting to the fight itself, on my preview piece, I said that for Ben to win, he needed to get Eubank to exhaust a lot of his energy early, and then kind of drown him late. I think we saw some of that early on. What did you think of Chris Eubank Jr. right from the start? Did you feel like he wasn't at 100% from the start, or did you think that maybe he just was who he was at this point of his career?
No, even before, the first fight was a really good fight, but he even was out of it on the first fight, and he still beat Chris Eubank. I mean, he still beat Conor Ben, but he was out of it in the first fight. He wasn't. That was life or death, and so for him, 6 months again doing that same thing to your body, training camp hard, and personal things and stuff like that. There was no way Chris Eubank was going to be able to perform. Like, you have to know boxing. Of course, we get hyped. We're like, yes, we're going to get another fight, another crazy war. But, like, that was me because I'm like, yeah, we get another. But then in my head, I'm like, Zachary, you've been in this game forever. Chris Eubank won't be able to do anything. And due to the weight cut, not just the weight cut, forget about the weight cut. Weight cut is whatever. The rehydration clause
is 10 pounds.
Is what diminishes the little guy beats the big guy. It's not really that when you have a rehydration clause. There was no even playing field. Conor Ben, now how did he look? He didn't look too special. He changed a lot of things, as in he threw more jabs, moved around a little bit more, but he literally did not look. Basically, it's not what Conor Ben did. It's what Chris Eubank couldn't do. He just couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything. So, was it a great fight? No. It was, of course, it was just a stinker. Would people want to see a third one? No, I would not want to see a third one because if there's a rehydration clause, there's no reason. If there's no rehydration clause, Yeah, we can see a third one because then that's big problems. But back and forth, I'm not sure. Conor Ben got hit with some straight shots, some clean punches. Shout out to Janae. Conor Ben got hit with some clean punches by Eubank that had nothing on them. You understand? He was throwing just to throw them. And not to fast forward to this conversation, but like Conor Ben saying, he's ready for all the welterweights and stuff. Conor Ben hasn't weighed in at welterweight since 2022, and that's going to be very hard for him. So he might be dealing with what Chris Eubank Jr. is going to deal with against smaller and faster and strong ass guys that aren't dealing with that. You're going up from 160, trying to go back to 147. That's a pretty hard thing. And guess what? I like Conor Ben. Before I always liked him, but then when he got caught with the drug usage, I didn't like that at all. It made me look at him weird. But now he cleaned himself up. He's doing his thing. I like Conor Ben a lot. I like his attitude. He's good, but there's nothing that stands out. The only thing that stands out is he'll fight his ass off. He's got a big fan base, and that's it. There's nothing special. These guys at welterweight and up have some really nice abilities on them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Eubank thing, and just to kind of put some context to it, he was drained, and he couldn't pass the 10 pounds on the morning of the fight. Now, for people that maybe not understand, when you're extremely dehydrated, I'm speaking from experience too. Like, listen, I was in the military, had to make weight on numerous times. So after you make it, you can eat a piece of toast and you'll gain 6 pounds
Oh,
from the start. You take a sip of water, that's another 3 pounds. So mind you, from the time of the weigh-in, which was Friday afternoon,
he had a tippy toe.
to Saturday morning, you had to basically, he had to, maybe have a piece of orange, burn it off real quick, or try to, and
He had
then,
2 weigh-ins, bro.
yeah, and then hold on, to that until the next morning, and then, have a good meal after that. But that's hard, man, because then you try to you try to kind of fill yourself up a little bit, and it's the morning of the fight. That means that you're not getting any rest. You're eating, you're gonna feel a little bloated, you're gonna feel sluggish. And these are all the things that we saw play out on
Yes,
Saturday.
exactly. What you said was perfect. Bloatation, and then having to make his second weigh, because that's a second weigh-in. You understand? And you know what happens when you can't rehydrate the way you need to? You have no fluids in your body, no fluids in your brain, no fluids around your ligaments, around your joints, your spine. And guess what happens? You're super weak. You can get hit with a little ass shot. My son can hit him in the face, and he'll start fucking getting a stanky leg. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really bad. This rehydration stuff is a big issue when it comes to boxing. They're doing claws, weight claws, all that stuff. Even Jake Paul's doing it with Anthony Joshua. It's real scary stuff. But is it worth it? Are you willing to get the money? Are you willing to risk your career for it? Your health? You understand?
And see, the thing is that the IBF still does it, though. The IBF still does it with next day, you can't go more than 10 pounds on their title fights. So the IBF still has that, and that's hard, man. But I guess in their defense, they weigh them in like dead early in the morning type of thing. But man, I don't know. I guess in a nutshell, they fought. It was cool. The lead up and the hype was cool. They put 65,000 plus people twice. You can't
Come on, man. Great.
Great. Everybody made money. It was a good look. Eubank got compensated for having the rehydration clause and all that. So at the end of the day, he not complaining. He probably in some island right now chilling. So shout out to both of them.
Yes, shout out to them both of them. They did their thing, man.
They did their thing. They did their thing. All right, now breaking news. WBO, or I should say, unified heavyweight champion Oleksandr Usyk has vacated the WBO title because they were trying to press him for a defense of the title. Now, since he vacated the title, the interim champ now becomes the full champ, and that person is Fabio Wardley. So Fabio Wardley, who beat Joseph Parker recently,
Yep.
um, is now the WBO heavyweight champion. Now, when you look at the list, you know who's at number one? Moses Ituma. So Fabio Wardley and Ituma, both under Queensberry Promotions. You have to imagine that that's the next fight. I don't know if I agree with that because Ituma, I think he's still a little green. But it is what it is. Sitting at number two is Philip Herkovich, and then number three is Zhalei Zhang. Uh, I don't know. What do you think of Usyk basically saying, "Listen, I'm not going to be tied to a mandatory. I'm gonna do what I need to do on my own terms," and giving up the WBO crown?
I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's just Usyk can do whatever he wants. Him and Terrence Crawford are two guys that can do anything they want in boxing right now, and nobody should be able to complain because they put in so much work and they've been winning. You understand? And Usyk is already a legend. So for him to give that up, avoid being on the stranglehold by any sanctioning bodies or even paying any sanctioning fees, because you know every cent counts at the end of your career. Shout out to Usyk. It's what he wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, so would you be excited for a Fabio Wardley Moses Ituma fight?
Yes, I would. Yes, I
Yeah.
would. Yes, I would. The reason why is because most of the two is knocking everybody out.
Mm.
All his guys, he's knocked out everybody. He's passed like almost every single fight. What? He's knocked out everybody. And then Fabio Wardley, he's knocking out everybody. So both these guys, but the thing is this, I understand where you're coming from, Gabe. Being smart, you want a guy to be just like, hold on, it's a little too early. Are we gonna spoil the goods? Maybe he can progress into it. And you're right about that. But we don't see two undefeated young guys going at it. So if he's world champion and this guy's young and he's up and coming and they're basically in the same bracket, except this guy has just a couple more fights. Fight. Just fight each other because they're both young. So fight each other.
I just I don't know, there's just been a little too much glizzy goblin for me on Itama, man.
The reason why is because he beat Dylan White. First one, that shows you a lot. But at the same time, what if Dylan White didn't get knocked out in that first round? Could you have survived the whole fight fighting a Dylan White? As a matter of fact, put Itama with Chisora and then put him in with this other guy.
But look, there's other matchups. They could have put him with Philip Ergovich. They could have put him with Zhalei Zhang. They could have put him with a few other folks that would have like really tested his mettle, right?
But like it's gonna happen though.
But it's not gonna happen because they're trying to put that title on Moses Ituma. That's the listen. I mean, that has been the plan, and it looks like that's the direction they're going. That's why they're trying to put the squeeze on Usyk. And Usyk wasn't trying to fight Itama because he's like,
there's nothing there for that.
There's nothing there for him. You know what I mean?
That's nothing there for that. And then this dude, he came off a really good win against Joseph Parker and beating Joe Parker while Joseph Parker was, hyped up in that ring. You know what I'm saying? but Fabio Wardley's good. He's good, man.
Yeah, I mean, they say he was
6'5", boy.
They said Parker was snow sledding, so I don't know, like.
Also on there,
but Parker's denying it. I don't know how you could deny it, but I don't know.
Maybe like he had meat. He ate like a burger from like a cow that was on the same farm as like the cartel's farm and all
Bruh.
that, and that's how it traced back to him. I'm not sure.
Tripped and fell and snorted on something on the table. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm just saying. Performance enhancer or not? Yeah, man.
No, that's
Listen.
that's an enhancer, boy. I'll tell you that right now.
He was an enhancer, all right, but just
He's-
not enough for him to win the fight.
No.
He said cartel cow theory. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. But listen, Fabio Wardley is the new WBO champ. Um, I would not be surprised if him versus Ituma is going to be one of those 12 pay-per-views that the Zone puts out next year. So count that one because that one you're gonna pay for. You're not getting that one as part of your subscription.
Now, would you want to see Richard Torres versus Ituma?
Oh, I would love to see
That's a
Richard
great
Torres.
fight.
See,
That's a great fight.
that's a good fight for the levels that they're at,
Right
both of
now.
them.
Okay, right now. Okay,
right
okay.
now.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna do that because now you're telling me if Itoma is getting a shot, then why not Richard Torres next? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Torres is ranked a little bit higher than the two.
yeah. But what I'm saying, like in theory, right? Like that type of level of guy is getting a title shot, then why was prohibiting Torres from getting the title shot, right? So, and who knows, man? Like, I think Torres's opportunity might come sooner than later. Will he win? That's a different story, different conversation. It depends on who he fights. But I think that if you're top rank, man, the time is now to get him in with maybe one of those older heavyweights and see what he got.
Yes, because my thing is like, it reminds me of because Richard Torres got, he looks like this straight American guy. He's got the Spanish last name and all that stuff, but he looks like straight up like a white American dude that could represent for America, like Tommy Morrison and all that. Like he's got the goods like that, and he's got personality, bro. He's got personality. He's nice dude and everything. He's not the biggest heavyweight, but he's coming to fight. So maybe they can get a title on him. Say if he becomes a world champion real quick, get some good defenses, make a lot of good money with this guy.
Yeah, why not? Why not put him against Derek Chisora?
That would be fucking perfect. I mean, anybody who goes in the ring with Derek Chisora might have an issue. But
yeah.
If he takes him out, guess what? He's the new man on the block representing American heavyweights. Heavyweights. What's the American heavyweight we have now? What's the best American heavyweight we have now? We have Michael Hunter, we have Richard Torres, and who else?
Jared Anderson at one point but
he's crying to Roy Jones, all that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's done. So yeah, listen, and Bob Arum and Frank Warren. They two old school guys. They can make it happen. They've done business together. If they really want to, I think they can make it happen. I just don't know if Top Rank is ready to look. They got the best matchmakers in the business, right? And they know what they're doing. They know what they got to do. And whoever Richard Torres fights next is because that's where they got to get him at. And then when he gets to that certain point, boom, that's when they'll pull the trigger. Let me see.
Yep.
Chisora team not taking Torres. Yeah, I can see that. But on the flip side, you could also argue that maybe Derek Chisora sees it as getting somebody young and inexperienced at this time. You know what I mean? Instead of waiting to get somebody like that, with a lot more experience.
True. He just wants to make good money, though, Chisora. It's very important for him.
Yeah. 2025 is a shit year for Jared Anderson. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Speaking of Roy Jones, there was a clip, I think it was on Boxing Scene, where Roy Jones said that he was going to go fly to go see Errol Spence Jr. And that he was going to, I guess, do some workouts with him, see where his head is at and everything else. Roy doesn't have exactly the best record when it comes to training folks. But I could also see this as just an opportunity for, Spence to just get into a rhythm, not necessarily hiring Jones as a coach, but actually just getting into rhythm. What do you think? Do you think this is smoking mirrors, or do you think that, Roy could potentially get Earl Spence back into that mindset?
No, I think to be honest, I think it's just, going around, going shopping. You understand? So like if Earl Spence likes Roy, and he sees, man, Roy got me feeling good, bouncing on my toes, doing my thing, not too strict or anything like that, then that might go work for him. You know what I'm saying? Why not just explore and say, hey, let me try this trainer. Let me try this guy. What's wrong with that? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. His counterpartner, what was stablemate, Jamel Charlo. He brought in Juan Guzman to help him out in camp, and Juan Guzman, great fighter, great assistant in camp, pads and all that stuff. So why not Earl Spence? He can do the same thing while also getting another official coach. Or Roy could just take over the whole thing. Why not? Roy's got a lot of knowledge in the game. I understand that's not his first thing of being a trainer, but he knows a lot of things that a lot of people don't.
Yeah. Now, listen, if you're outside looking in, aside from Roy Jones, is there somebody out there that you think would be potentially a good fit for Earl as far as his style, with his style?
Yeah, and this is not advice, but like this, damn, it's crazy. Maybe two. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking like Ben Davidson. He's pretty good. It's a long stretch. Different countries and stuff, but also Steve Bregman Edwards with Earl. That would be really good. Like I'm talking about basics down, fundamentally sound, strong, and coming straight in shape. So there's some trainers out there, but those are the two that I could see Earl Spence hooking up with big time.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, I know Robert Garcia wouldn't be a bad choice, but I think that at the end of the day,
What happened?
if Errol Spence wants to come back, for at least one more, it's going to be against like a Virgil, right? In Dallas, and it's going to be big. So
it's gonna be most likely be a big fight or a comeback fight. It's either or. But with Earl, he don't take comeback fights.
That's what I was just going to say. He's not going to take that. He's not going to take that. And that's a gauge level of interest. Can Earl keep his head straight? Yeah, I mean it's not so much that he's just been out of the ring for so long, and there are other priorities in life, which is perfectly fine. He's got a family. He's been paying more attention to that, and that is great for him. If he's not going to come back 100% focused on boxing, then he just doesn't need to come back, because that's where you get really hurt, and it'd be dangerous for him. So if he's going to call it a career, then he needs to call it a career, and that's fine. He had some great moments. I still think about the fact that his fight had broken records or set records for NBC, the one in Coney Island. And that one really pushed the needle for them. Probably their highest one, I think, on NBC. So, he had his moments. He won his titles. There's no shame. He made a lot of money. Enjoy your family. If that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do that. I think that doubt that thought of coming back is lingering on his head still. And he showed up to that Virgil fight, and he was in attendance. And I think that, that was what kind of got him in that mode again. Seeing the people getting, people happy to see him. Yeah,
people showing you love. He's there, seeing the fights, seeing if he could feel that air in the from the crowd and everything, and seeing people get hit with live punches. It brings you back, and it makes you want to come back. Or some guys, it makes you want to be like, nah, this ain't for me no more. But with Earl, I feel like with Earl, because I don't know, but I know that he's a real fighter, bro. Yeah. And he's the disciplined guy. But the thing is this with Earl, you ain't gonna nobody gonna tell him what to do but himself. I'll tell you that shit right now. Earl's the type of guy, you tell him he got plans to go to a fancy ass restaurant, all that shit. and you come up to him and you say, and Friday he's going to a restaurant. You come up to him and you say, "Yo, man, Friday you going to that restaurant, man?" "Yeah, man." He won't go. You know why? Because you telling him something that he's about to do, what he's gonna do. He doesn't like that, bro. He's a very strong-minded person. He doesn't play that. He has a lot of pride. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's humble. Gives Terrence Crawford his props, which is also a good thing to show. You don't want to give too much props because that means you might be gone. You know, but at the same time, I feel like Earl is gonna do what he's gonna do and what's good for him. But he loves the sport. He loves the sport.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see how that plays out. Let's go real quick into this announcement that Matchroom did the other day, where they put out like a little mini slate for January through February. You got Raymond Murataya defending his IBF lightweight title against Cruz, right, on January 24th. Then you've got Bakram Murtazaliev versus Josh Kelly on January 31st. He's defending his IBF junior middleweight title. Bakram is the guy that beat up on Tim Tszyu last year, in case people don't know. Then you got Wood versus Warrington 2, February 21st. And then you got Emmanuel Navarrete versus Nunes on February 28th in Phoenix. So little mini. No. This is all Matchroom.
Oh, it's all Matchroom.
This is all Matchroom. So
wow.
Yeah. So they put out a little mini slate. I think that we'll see a little bit more of this type of announcement, especially with the zone, because they're catching a lot of heat off of this ultimate pass, which will cost you $45 a month, for the zone to get the ability to get the pay-per-views without having to pay extra. So I just feel like with that, they're going to make one or two of those fights that probably shouldn't be on pay-per-view. They're going to make it into a pay-per-view to justify that they got 12 pay-per-views in. So
yo, talk about Abe just shit is yo, he just exposed the game for real.
Yo,
it's true.
I'm just saying.
That was some street shit.
I'm just saying, man. I call it like I see it. All right, we're gonna get into this big announcement that happened today. December 19th in Miami. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Zach, Anthony Joshua is returning to the scene of the crime where he was posted up taking pictures with you in Miami a few years back.
Oh my god.
With conversations that have yet to be disclosed.
No.
But we've got this fight December 19th on Netflix in Miami. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Now, before we get into it, want to talk about some of the things here. It's an 8-round fight with 3 minutes per round. They're going to use 10-ounce gloves. But this one sticks a little bit. Joshua cannot weigh in over 245 pounds at the weigh-in. Now, why is that significant? Because Joshua hasn't been underneath 245 since August of 2022 when he fought Oleksandr Usyk for the rematch. All right. So over 3 years, he hasn't been at that weight. So that part right there is going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Zach, what do you think of the matchup? Do you believe that it actually got signed? And how do you see any of these rules playing into this match?
I believe the fight's going through. Anthony Joshua was already doing his thing, training. Because I remember hearing Eddie Hearn saying that he might have was going to have an 8-round fight soon coming up and all that stuff. Who knows? But he's like, hey, why not? This is a big payday for both of these guys. And honestly, Anthony Joshua coming in and with 10-ounce gloves, I'm very surprised. I would have thought, if this would happen, somebody say, hey, Jake Paul fought Joshua, what would it be? What size gloves? I would think 12 or 14-ounce gloves. But no, 10-ounce gloves. So Jake Paul wants to be hurt. He wants to get hurt bad. And shout out to Jake Paul. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, I know you're taking a payday and doing it for the money and all that stuff, but this motherfucker hits you. You can. I know everybody says Jake Paul, but guess what? Jake Paul is a fucking human being, like everybody else. You know, I understand nobody likes him. A lot of guys, people hate on him, but guess what? He gets hurt, he could be in the hospital, bro. He can have brain damage. Anything can happen to him. So we can't forget, people are still human beings, even though who they are outside. But I like it because it's 3-minute rounds. I like because it's 8 rounds, which is good. And it's 10-ounce gloves, 10-ounce fucking gloves, bro. But what is not cool is this rehydration thing when it comes to Anthony Joshua. It's like, what's the whole point? But the thing is this: even if fucking Anthony Joshua didn't eat for fucking 30 days, if he's not able to get rid of Jake Paul, come on.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And Anthony Joshua, as we were talking about before, Anthony Joshua is a very serious man. When it comes to boxing and war, he's a very serious motherfucker. He's not anything to play with. He's very serious. But what's cool is Jake Paul said, fuck that. I'm not going to fight this guy. I'm going to fight Anthony Joshua. And if I go out, hey, at least I went out trying to fight the biggest and baddest motherfucker, and you can't take that away from him. And people will tune in.
Yeah, and I also felt like Jake was running out of guys to face. Now, I'm not talking about your typical guys. I'm talking about the UFC guys with names, the past prime fighters. Like, he was running out of those guys. The Tank fight, because of Tank's popularity and what he means to the sport and everything, made sense, right? Even though the height and the weight difference didn't. But once that got canceled, the people writing the checks, which is Netflix, they wasn't going for no Nate Diaz rematch. They wasn't going for no nothing, no craziness. They're like, if you don't fight somebody that is gonna push the needle, then we're out of here. Because as much as Jake Paul does good business, Netflix don't need him. Netflix does good business with everybody else. So they're like, listen, you want us to write this check? It got to be somebody worth the while. Now, the part that I thought was going to be the hardest, which obviously everything gets settled with money, was Joshua being able to fight on Netflix and DAZN not have an issue with it. So I was told that DAZN got paid really well for Joshua to now fight on Netflix for this one time.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So, because that has to happen. Like, because he's got exclusive deal with DAZN. Only way that, he can get out of doing that is they got to get paid. And so DAZN got a check. Boom, they got a check. And now Joshua's fighting on Netflix. Netflix is probably happy. They're probably popping bottles right now because they know what Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua means when it comes to social media, when it comes to Google Trends, when it comes to all that stuff. They know what that brings.
Yes.
That's going to bring heavy traffic,
big time,
heavy eyeballs. And I'm going to go on the record right now. Shout out to my man, Brian Jaffe, that always talks about being on the wreck. I'm going to go on the wreck right now and say that it does more than Canelo Crawford and slightly under Tyson Paul, right in the middle of there. I'm going on the wreck right now and saying that.
Hey, you might be right. And the reason why is because Anthony Joshua, his following in the UK, everywhere, all over the world. It's crazy. They can hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out to my man Deshaun. He making fun of my Giants hat. Listen, I'm Giants through and through, so I'm gonna
Oh,
wear it regardless.
oh man.
But listen, the thing is that now you have a former unified heavyweight champion, two-time heavyweight champion that you're fighting, who's still active, who still has the opportunity to face Tyson Fury in September of 2026. So this is a real guy. Thanks, Woods. This is a real guy. Jake Paul is fighting a real guy who on a poster looks like a Greek god. You know what I mean? Like he like an extra on the movie 300. And it's a believable event. People on social media are gonna go nuts when we get closer to fight week. Right now, already they're doing, they're spinning, the
Yeah, but
Josh,
once they get the press conference going,
and the press conference is Friday.
once they get it this Friday,
Yeah,
they're not wasting no time with this shit. Come on,
not at
man.
all. Not at all.
They gonna get it pumped. We going to Miami. Shoot me, I know you don't want to go, hey, but we're gonna go to Miami. You know what I'm saying? Everybody chill. We going over there just for business. And we gonna have a great time. We're gonna be sitting there. I might see Amanda Serrano. She might be sitting right there. Everybody. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, good for good fight for the crowd and for the attention to boxing. Now going to my boxer mode, no, it's a bullshit fight. As in, like, this does nothing for Anthony Joshua's legacy. This one's not just for he's got all the money in the world. Why would he fucking take another fight like this or anything? He could fight a real fight. You understand? Instead of giving this guy, more viewers and more chances to make money and ridicule the sport. You can talk like that, think like that, but business is business. And guess what? As much as I can say, nah, I wouldn't want them to fight right now, whatever. I think it's just entertaining, bro. It's entertaining. And if you really want to see, Jake he's gonna try as hard as he's gonna go into training camp, do his thing, but there's nothing he can do that gonna do anything against Anthony Joshua. But gotta give it to the man because he can get knocked out bad or hurt in front of the whole world, and he's doing it. He's doing it.
And this is the thing. Joshua probably has 40 million reasons why he's doing it.
If the fight was scheduled way before, it would have been 60 million reasons why.
Yeah. Okay. I believe that.
I was gonna say, Jake Paul could have fought Roy Jones.
Yeah.
As a prime, as like a past his prime type of guy.
He could have fought Andre Ward. I wonder why the Andre Ward fight didn't happen. I really want to know why the Andre Ward fight didn't happen.
Man. Come on, man. First of all, I not to put him that, but like Andre Ward doesn't have the fan base as Anthony Joshua has.
Of course not. More risk than reward there.
No, that and Andre Ward is gonna go in there. I mean, they're both was, but Andre was mean when he fight, and he's not playing with fucking Jake Paul. And you're not going to get as much money to lose that bad than you're going to get with Anthony Joshua.
Yep. And listen, for everybody that is in with us live, the link to join us is pinned on the top of the YouTube page at ABG Boxing on the comments. You could click on it, join, talk your shit, whatever, and then we'll go from there. So anybody that wants to do that, I think for and I'm gonna probably leave it with this point for Anthony Joshua. For Anthony Joshua, this has to be a super big move for his profile, for his brand, because now he's Anthony Joshua, big deal in the UK, big deal in boxing, but now he's elevating his brand and crossing it over
big time
to a demographic that may not know who he is, and which makes him even bigger, which builds his brand even bigger. Yes. And when you're talking about potentially facing Tyson Fury in September 2026, a fight like this with Joshua, if let's say he knocks out Paul or whatever, that elevates that next fight with Fury even more because now
Yeah.
more people are gonna be like, yo, oh, that's that Anthony Joshua that knocked out Jake Paul. Yeah, yeah, we want to see that.
Yep.
Now it could hurt him if he loses this fight and gets embarrassed. That might be the end of Anthony Joshua. And the way they're gonna, the way it's
That'll be
probably
the
gonna,
end of the whole sport.
yeah. See, this is how it's gonna look, man. The ring is gonna be the biggest ring you can make. Period. It's gonna be like Mayweather Pacquiao type of big ring.
And remember, for all the people that watch this show, even the people that don't want to give credit to when they watch this show and take what we talk about and use it on their little shows, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Throw something like the Boxing Rush Hour show when you steal our topics and all that shit. Anyways, go back to what you were saying. A big fucking ring, right? Something. Go ahead. Somebody's gonna mention it. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's gonna be a big ring. Probably the biggest. Bigger than the average ring. And the whole reason for that is, Jake is gonna want to move around. He's gonna want to lead his offense behind his left jab, keep his distance, not allow Joshua to come in and rush in. And also, Joshua is a little robotic, right? And so doesn't move that much. And he's still carrying all that weight. He's a big guy. So he is going to, be a little more fatigued at times. And if Jake Paul kind of uses his legs more, then, he can maybe have an opportunity to land something big on Joshua late in the fight.
If he knocks out Anthony Joshua, he's the greatest prospect of all time.
Yeah. I mean, listen, and I think that's what's going to sell it, right? The intrigue, the what if. That is what's going to sell the event. That is what people are going to tune into.
That's what everybody's tuned into for all Floyd's fights. What if Floyd loses? That was not happening, and it might not happen in this one, but it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be real entertaining.
Bingo. So December 19th, Netflix, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. It's official. Undercard is going to be announced soon. I'd have to imagine that Baumgartner is going to fight who she was fighting and a few other folks. I don't see it being any different than the Tank undercard, but I could be mistaken. I would think that that's going to be, pretty much the same card as when they were going to fight Tank. So let's see how that goes down. All right. Speaking of fights, this Saturday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, you got The Ring. They're doing an event on the Zone pay-per-view, $59.99 in the US. Or if you get that ultimate pass, you don't pay the $59.99. David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. But that card on paper is pretty stacked up. You got Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes for the lightweight title, I believe is the WBO. I think I gotta check. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. for WBO welterweight title. Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Puma Martinez for 3 out of the 4 115 belts. Lot of heavy fights on this card. Which one right now stands out to you the most that has your attention the most?
I mean, Devin Haney, Brian Norman. And I don't even want to say, I'm gonna try to be different about and pick. After that, it would be David Benavidez versus Yard because they're gonna go to hell that fight. But like the way Brian Norman's been training, been talking, all that, I like Brian Norman a lot, man. I knew of him before, but like he you know what I'm saying, he gets respect. But Devin Haney, he also gets respect because he's been through a lot so far in the last 2 years of his career, and he didn't take no slouch. He did not take a slouch. He did not fucking take a slouch. And when you want to compare, you could say Devin Haney, he's not the toughest or the strongest guy, but he's but he's got heart and he's got balls. He ain't take no tune up like that. He's like Earl. Earl wouldn't want to take a tune up. He's going fighting Brian Norman. Brian Norman could just clip him and game over. But no, he's going in there trusting his boxing skills. And Brian Norman is going there trusting his grit and his heart. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, that fight is definitely on my radar.
What about Yard? Yard Benavidez is going to be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, because I like the little guys.
Bam, man.
Yo, the Bam Rodriguez versus Puma Martinez. That's where it's at for me. You know what I mean? That's a hell of a fight, and Bam is trying to get the attention of the people more than what he has already, to kind of build his profile and let people know that he's a bad SOB, and he is.
He gonna smoke that dude. I ain't gonna lie, man. My bad, my bad, Puma. You gonna get cookie crisp, boy. That shit.
Yeah, I think Bam's his footwork and style and how he approaches fights. I just don't see anybody at 115 really challenging that.
Nah, man. Only guys that can challenge him are the little bit of a heavier guys. That's it, because they can take some of the shots and they're not gonna be chasing him too much. You understand? So
yeah. I think I can see him, cleaning up 115 and then maybe going up to 118. But I don't see him. I don't know if he's a 122 guy. Like I feel like 118 might be like the max for him. He's a small guy. He's a small guy. So
I remember when I seen him, he was pretty small.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll have to see how that goes. But let's talk about Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. This is an interesting fight, because I feel like Devin Haney, if it appears that Devin Haney feels like he can outbox Brian Norman Jr. for 12 rounds and not have to worry about getting into any trouble. The challenge is going to be for Brian Norman Jr. to not only cut off the ring, but to be able to land shots on Devin Haney, who can be a defensive maestro at times. I don't know. Like, what do you think about this matchup? What stands out to you the most about these two competitors as they face each other for the WBO welterweight title?
What stands out to me is that Devin Haney, he hasn't scored a knockout since 2019. But these were, remember when he was in the lower weight class, 135, the 140s. He was killing himself. He walks around pretty heavy. Now he's at 147. But don't get it confused. He's got the power to drop and hurt your ass. He dropped Regis Prograis. You understand? And Regis is a tough motherfucker. So him at 147, if you think Brian Norman is just gonna take all his punches and let Devin Haney punch on him, I don't think that's happening. Devin Haney's coming to fight. He knows how to punch. But can Devin Haney not exert his energy moving around the ring so much where Brian Norman is just going to wear him down? Devin Haney comes in complete shape. I'm talking about his stamina is really good. But Brian Norman, he comes in complete shape. But guess what? One round, he's looking like a monster. The next round, he could look a little sloppy. Next round, can't really do that with a Devin Haney. Devin Haney, you need to be on point. If not, he'll box your ass the whole fight, and he wins. That's simple. But Brian Norman Jr. and his father, they're so cool. They actually got into a fight with, what's that guy's name? That he beat him bad. He was undefeated dude.
You talking about Giovanni?
Yeah, and that right there was vicious, but he wasn't doing so good in the beginning. And then
I was there at that fight too. Yeah, I was ringside. I was there, and you could hear those. But you know what it was that he broke him down, like you said. But it was those body punches, man. Those body punches caught up, and if he can stay disciplined with that body attack and not get tempted so much to go head hunting, I think that gives him the best opportunity to take him out.
That's true. I believe that. I do believe that, but he has to rough horse Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Because Devin Haney, you don't see Devin Haney get tired. Because Devin Haney, that's his plan to run, not run. I'm talking about in camp, run, shape, stamina, and if he's not rough with Devin Haney and tries to keep it cute, it's gonna have a problem. He's gonna be all night. It's gonna be a long night for him. He can't do anything. But if he clips Devin Haney, hurts him, then you got Devin Haney overthinking too much. Oh shit, Ryan Garcia fight. Oh shit, mental. And so Devin Haney, I feel he'll get tired mentally before he ever gets tired physically.
Yeah. But maybe he might get tired physically if Brian Norman Jr. is able to break that body down.
Oh, if he can go to that body the way he throws those body shots, he can do real good work.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the end, how do you see this fight going down? Who wins the fight?
Devin Haney.
By what? By decision?
Yeah, by decision. Yes, by decision. Yes.
Yeah. I can see that happening, but I could also see it being like a little controversial. Like Devin Haney winning the fight, but not really winning the fight.
Nah, I see Devin Haney sweeping him if he does win. Sweeping him easily. But if he loses, I see him getting stopped, boy, by Brian Norman. I see Brian Norman clipping his ass and stopping him. Devin Haney doing the this shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Brian Norman's good, man. He got pop. It's just, Devin Haney got that experience, man. He's really good. He's been up there with the top guys already. So
yeah, and that's the thing. And let's look at right now. So the odds, DraftKings, they have it pretty much even. So they have Brian Norman Jr. at -120, and then Devin Haney at -105.
Wow.
Now Brian Norman Jr., a lot of plus odds here on the method. So Brian Norman Jr. by KO, TKO is at +225.
KO'd his last 3 fights. Yep.
Brian Norman Jr. by decision +240. Devin Haney by TKO, KO +900. Devin Haney by decision +150.
Okay.
A lot of plus odds out there. That is definitely going to change by the time we get to Friday, Saturday. So, like, if you're going to bet on the fight, probably jump on those type of odds right now.
Yeah.
He said, my man Deshaun, yeah, Haney winning, but by decision. Yeah, I could see that. Just like Zach said, yeah. Listen,
I think Haney beats a lot of, like say for instance, if Conor Ben came down to welterweight to fight Devin Haney for his belt, if Devin Haney wins, I feel like Devin Haney boxes the shit out of Conor Ben unless he gets clipped and hurt bad and manhandled.
Yeah, I think a Conor Ben fight against Conor Ben's next fight needs to be against somebody that moves the needle. So, like, if he fights like Ryan Garcia or somebody in the UK, that would be big.
It's gotta be something big.
Yeah, that'd be big. So, we'll see what it goes with that. All right, the main event: David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. Does this fight go the distance?
No, this fight's not going to distance. So fucking crazy. No, it's not going to distance. They go depth to depth. The thing is, you can think that the fight's going to go the distance because David Benavidez's last 3 fights have went the distance. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I don't see it can go the distance is because I'm not saying David Benavidez will win. I'm saying that Anthony Yarde fights, boy. And he might just get himself knocked out or try to knock out David Benavidez. You understand? This is a tough matchup. These aren't the guys that are like, let me use my size to see if I can go to 12 rounds with David Benavidez taking the deep waters. No, this guy right here, Anthony Yarde, is the guy that's like, no, I'm bigger. I've been in this weight class. I want to hurt him. And for him to go and try to hurt David Benavidez leaves him open for David Benavidez to land some nasty punches. Nasty shots.
And you know what? Let me tell you, people forget that when Yarde fought Artur Beterbiev a few years ago, like, he was having his way, until
8 rounds. 8 rounds.
Yeah, until he didn't. But so he's got the ability in there. The problem is this: if he lands a punch on David Benavidez and David Benavidez does this, It's over, bro. Because he does that. Like you hit him, and if he's not feeling it, he'll smile and he go.
Yeah, that's
like
all like
like you see that, and you're like, oh man, it's gonna be a long night, or maybe a short one. And that's the thing. If Benavidez doesn't respect his power early, he's gonna walk right through him, bro. And then that's
I
when the
believe that.
avalanche is coming.
Yeah, I believe that.
Let's check the odds. So right now, Benavidez is at minus 900. Anthony Yarde is at plus 550.
Damn, bro. Jeez.
Benavidez by KO TKO is at minus 150. Benavidez by decision is at plus 180. And then Yarde by KO TKO is at plus 850. And Anthony Yarde by decisions at plus 1600. So the odds are definitely in favor of David Benavidez right now. Maybe you could pick up a Benavidez by decision if you really feel that way, but I don't know. I don't think this is going 12 rounds.
Yeah, I don't think it's going 12 rounds either. Not saying each guy can't go 12 rounds. They can because they proved it in their last couple of fights. But who is gonna have the more endurance during this fight? The muscular guy that's super strong and trying to knock you out, or is it the leaner, bigger guy that can throw all type of punches from all different angles?
Yeah,
combinations. So I'm not sure.
yeah. So
got
listen,
David Benavidez winning this fight. That's what I can tell you.
Yeah,
I have David Benavidez winning this fight.
I got Benavidez winning this fight too. I think he was a little bit more cautious, wanted to use his IQ more against David Morrell.
Because he's moving up.
And Morrell's is a smart fighter, right? You know, he ain't no whack fighter. Recently I think he changed trainers. He went over to Salas, I believe. Morrell did, because he was with
the guy with the platforms.
With the platform shoes on. Yeah,
I like that guy. He's cool.
Yeah, he's got all the Cubans out there, and some of the Dominicans out there in Vegas. So he left Ronnie Shields in Texas, and
he won a close fight. He won a close fight against this guy that's Australian and all that.
Yeah. So I mean, I think Benavidez for this one, he's gonna look to dominate. They want to do the Artur Beterbiev fight next. Turkey does, I guess. I can see that happening. I don't know if Bivol's gonna fight Benavidez, but given that Canelo's like last fight on the Turkey contract currently is the second one in 2026. Could you see Benavidez finally get the Canelo fight?
You just shot that question out there. Damn. Shit. You maybe can get it. If Canelo says, I want this kid to, get some bread. But the way he's been disrespecting Canelo, he might not get the fight. That's the thing. Canelo's a really prideful person. He don't play those games. But as Abe would say, when the turkey money comes, it can come.
Yeah, and Canelo would probably drain him, right? Say, catch weight at 170 or at 168. Make Benavidez come down.
You can't come in 5 pounds heavier the next day.
Yeah, stuff like that. But I could see it. I could see it happening. I really can. If it were to happen, me personally, I think this is De La Hoya Chavez Sr. all over again.
Oh my goodness. Sheesh, that's bad.
Because De La Hoya smoked him.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
He smoked them. He said Cinco de Mayo 2026. I think that's too soon. Because De La Hoya, Canelo just had surgery, and they're expecting him to be back, I think, in the summer, like early summer. So I don't know if he's making May. It'll probably be June or July for Canelo. Um, Probably June, but I don't know if he makes May because of that surgery that he just recently had. So we'll see. But what they're trying to do is put Benavidez in Cinco de Mayo. And if that happens, then it's got to be the better BF fight. Which
That'll be the biggest. That'll be the biggest Mexican fight of all time.
yeah, that's huge.
David Benavidez versus Saul Alvarez will be the biggest Mexican fight of all time.
Yeah, but like I said, it'll be De La Hoya, Chavez Sr. all over again. Because I think Benavidez at that point he might just smoke him.
No, he'll stop him. He'll still hurt him. He might quit on the stool, type of thing. Canelo got a lot of pride, but
he got too much pride for that.
He got too much pride, but when you're getting busted up like that, that's no joke. But guess what? Canelo mess around, beat Benavidez, greatest Mexican fighter ever.
Yeah, because this is the thing. Who does Canelo fight? I mean,
maybe just don't fight again.
No, he's got two more. He got two more fights. He's got two more. So does he fight? You know, they had talked about him fighting Chris Eubank Jr. at 168 in the UK in Wembley. I mean, that fight could possibly happen.
And there's no weight clause.
And there's no weight clauses and all that. So did Chris Eubank Jr. do enough to where people could give him a pass for this past Saturday?
Yeah, of course. The thing is this: if you know boxing, you know the weight really smoked him. Can't do it. And he's a big name, big draw. He's gonna fight to the end, man. Of course, Chris Eubank Jr. He can do it. I believe it, and you believe it too, because me and Abe don't be agreeing on the same thing all the time. But when we do. Abe will be like, we don't just get along. We don't just be rotting. You know what I'm saying? We disagree.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I could see it. I could see, because Canelo's never fought in the UK, so why not, right? There's not another name that he would probably be able to fight that.
Okay, but Arthur be there versus Canelo.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like UK, like Wembley Stadium type of thing.
Yeah.
I think Eubank would probably be the one, right? That would be the only fight that would make sense for him. And then you still have to figure out who that last one is going to be. I don't think Canelo's fighting, oh boy, that knocked out Berlanga. What's his name?
Hey, you never know though. You never know. That's literally a fight that it's right there. And I think Canelo's too
but
good for that guy.
The problem is that
there's no money in
Canelo that he doesn't get anything out of it now. Turkey is Hamza Shiraz, so I think the Hamza Shiraz fight is there at some point. I just don't know if Canelo's gonna be around long enough for it. Like Hamza, he beat up Berlanga, and that happened. I just need Hamza to do that against another super middleweight that has a big name, and then maybe do the Canelo fight after that. But
I can see Conor Bennett fighting Canelo.
Nah,
there
because
won't be no weight clauses because Canelo's the man. Dude.
They could possibly do that if Conor Ben says, "Listen, I'm going for it." Right, then he could do that.
No choice. If they presented that to him, he would take it in 2 seconds.
So how much time does he have left, Canelo? I honestly, I know he was talking about doing an extension with Turkey. This was before the Crawford fight, that they were gonna extend his contract. That they were talking about it. Honestly, I think Turkey's been like. Maybe I don't think he is still on that wave. I think Turkey, after seeing the Crawford fight, he's like, nah, this guy got 2 more fights, the 2 fights that we have agreed upon, and that's it. So I think that 2026 might be the last year of Canelo. If not, 1 more fight in 27, and that's it. But I think we're underneath 2 years for Canelo to retire.
Yeah.
The dude is the dude is approaching 70 fights, bro. Like,
and if you believe he's how old is he?
he's young though. He's like 35, I think.
And if you guys believe his age, then you guys are all fools.
Let me see. He's 35.
And you know he's not 35. So yeah, I had a Mexican guy tell me this in the middle of Fifth Avenue in Brooklyn. I was working at the taco spot. He said,
yeah, he said, I think 27 is late. Yeah, no, you're right. 2027 might be late. But I don't know. Like I think that he does these two fights and he does the one off. Shout out to my man Deshaun with the Lit Dads podcast. Hit him up on his YouTube channel. Mike Wood said he's 35. Yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I don't know if, unfortunately, Canelo is going to be put in the position where he's gonna fight somebody, maybe a Benavidez, and just like guys that have done it before stay too long. Just like Chavez Sr., it was a perfect example. Probably stay too long. And
yeah, but I feel like Canelo has so much more pride than not pride as in like I don't want to fight this guy because of this than Chavez Sr. Chavez Sr. he never really had like that pull of I can make my own fights. I can not really. He just had the pride of just fighting anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we have to just see how it goes. But at some point, he's gonna end up having to fight somebody that he doesn't want to because Turkey is the one that's pulling the strings.
Bivol. He might just get the Bivol rematch. You know, see if he can
I
get
don't
it
want to
back.
see that.
I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see it again either.
Yo, Bivol smoked him for 12 rounds, man. Like, I don't want to see
First of all, we sleeping. Bivol is literally one of the best fighters in the world right now.
Yeah. Now he just had back surgery though. Like, I don't know how.
We both for real.
Yeah. He had back surgery, which is why he was stripped from the WBC title, and they gave it. Well, that's one of the reasons. And they gave it to Benavidez. So I don't know what we get from Bivol. Who does he fight? He doesn't look like he wants to fight Benavidez. Mind you, they've sparred countless rounds here in Southern California together. So maybe he knows something that, that he's like, I don't want to do that one.
Who Bivol Benavidez?
What's that?
Who Bivol Benavidez?
Yeah.
You don't
sparred a lot.
Yeah, okay, so who do you don't think Bivol wants that smoke?
Nah.
And then after he's fighting, he's like,
yeah.
This guy, he's good. He's a good fighter.
Yeah. I think what he would wait for is for Benavidez, and if Benavidez makes it out of that and gets a little, tread on his tires, war on him, then he'll fight him after that. Maybe. So, and it'll be for the undisputed light heavyweight crown. So let's see how it is, man.
How about Atoma versus Bacoli?
Yeah, I think Itoma might be a little too quick for Bacoli with his legs. Now Bacoli, he hit him with one of them loopy shots, and it might be over. But he fight too much, like the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters, man. Like he's just
that was crazy.
Like he disappeared. He had that last fight, and we haven't seen him since. So
we haven't seen that Frank Sanchez guy either.
Yeah, I think he's scheduled to fight somebody soon, but I don't know. Those guys, I don't know. I guess we'll see how that all plays out. But in the end, This weekend we have that fight. The Tom Loeffler 360 Promotions, they're doing a card in SoCal on the UFC Fight Pass this weekend as well. On Saturday, Mizuki Hirota is defending her ring and WBO crown, super flyweight crown on that night. And they got some of the other guys. But that's another thing, like 360 Promotions, they got a few guys there, but I'm just trying to figure out like when are they going to actually face like the top guys. Like they're staying busy, but like Omar Trinidad, for example, he's like number 1 or number 2 in the WBC, but like I need him to he's fighting these guys, SoCal guys, but I need him to fight Shushu. I need him to fight Angelo Lee or somebody like that. Like the marination or the progression is like at a standstill right now because he's just not trying to fight him, and I don't know, fight them. I don't know.
I feel like 360 Promotions is doing their best to build up their fighters, till they know when it makes sense for them financially to get a big fight. You understand?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I just think that like Omar Trinidad, the time is now. Like there's no more building up for him. He's already gotten past what he needs to get to. Now it's just him fighting the big names. He needs to be fighting the big names in the division, plain and simple at 126.
Yep.
No more of these small shows. Like, yeah, I think he fought recently, but like 2026, we need Omar Trinidad to be in a big fight. Period. Plain and simple. And so top guys are running. Yeah, I mean, Shushu Carrington been trying to get those top guys, and I don't know. We'll see.
I don't want Shushu to fight somebody it's the low risk, low reward, and make it and it become a bad fight for him, because it happens sometimes.
Yeah. And lastly, before we head out, a quick bit of news. So all signs are pointing towards Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez in New York City on January 31st, I believe it is. At the I think it was at the Madison Square Garden. Now, recently, as yesterday, I believe it was, Keyshawn Davis and his 2 brothers signed a managerial contract with Jay Prince.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and Jay Prince put out there that he wants to see DB3 on that card. So, as we
and then Top Rank has nothing to do with that.
I don't know. Nobody has said anything. I don't know if it's a Matchroom card, if it's a Top Rank card, if it's a Ring Magazine Turkey card. There's a lot of question marks right now. So I guess we'll see, how that news gets announced. But January is a busy night. That same night, Xander is going to be fighting Abbas in Puerto Rico for the WBO and WBA junior middleweight titles. So that night is going to be already busy. Amanda Serrano is fighting like the first Saturday of January. Matchroom got these January, February cards. So unlike previous years where January and February were like dead, nothing was going on. This year is going to be busy. And then, we don't know what Top Rank is doing as far as, new deal or anything like that. Seems like they're cooking something. It's just the timer in the oven hasn't hit the bell yet. So once they're ready to take that cake out the oven, I think everybody will be surprised a little bit about how they're going to move forward. I think they're going to move forward with something new, something that hasn't been done yet. It may not be as robust as the ESPN deal, but I think they're going to plant their tree in a few different places so that they can make it happen. So we'll see. We'll see what it is. But all right, I think that's going to be the show for today. Shout out to the 271 people that are watching with us
on a Monday. Feel me? It was just on a Monday.
On a Monday. We appreciate you guys. As always, you can follow us on X at ABG718 at Zachary Ochoa. And yeah, we're gonna try to circle back next week or the week after. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But
Yep.
we're definitely gonna have more on the Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Next week is Thanksgiving week, so it's gonna be a little tricky. That's also my birthday week, so we're gonna try to figure things out
When's your birthday, Lando?
on the 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what we're gonna do, and
Okay.
just kind of go from there. Zach, what you want to tell the people before we roll out?
Everybody, I want to say thank you to everybody that shows love to the sport of boxing. Boxing is one of the hardest sports in the world. To me, it is the hardest sport in the world. Everybody gives their life to the sport. Every fighter that gets in the ring, they give their life. So be appreciative of what you see in that ring, and have fun. Have fun.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, listen, everybody, please subscribe on YouTube at ABG Boxing. Hit the bell so you can be reminded when I post the interviews with your favorite fighters, and when we go live with Zachary Ochoa and myself, on whether it's on a Monday or usually on a Friday, and then you'll be notified when we do that. As always, we put the link on the top of the chat so that you can join us if you want to say something, if you got questions or whatever. So always feel free to do that. And I guess until the next time, we'll see what it is, Zach.
Yep,
Maybe.
and all the people watching, you feel me? That's watching to take from what from our show. Hey, we want to thank you guys. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate it. We are the originators. You feel me? Um, we talk the real shit. We talk the real stuff, and we give credit to all those that we get certain things from as well. You feel me? So shout out to those people as well.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. All right, y'all. Till the next time. Peace.